It's great to be here in the beautiful city of Wodonga, and at the outset can I also acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting, the Wiradjuri people, pay my respects to elders past and present and extend that respect to other First Nations people with us today. I want to share with you something I've recently learned about the Wiradjuri philosophy of Yindi Mara, a powerful value of respect that Wiradjuri people hold closely in their heart, to honour and to do things with care. And I know that these are the values that we all share and can aspire to throughout the conversations at today's summit. I'd also like to thank the very proud Mayor of Wodonga, Councillor Ron Wildren, for his welcome today as well, and to the I'd also like to acknowledge the other parliamentary representatives who are here today. And I think I heard Bill Tilley, the local member, acknowledge. Bill Tilley and I have been able to sneak a day off state parliament today, haven't we, Bill? So we're very grateful to be here in Wodonga today. I also have another thank you to make to News Limited for fulfilling for me today a lifelong dream. Today, I get to be on the same team, on the same billing as Lauren Jackson, our Australian superstar basketballer. So I'd like to give thanks for that as well. But it is great to be here in Wodonga today for the Bush Summit. It is, as we've heard from the Mayor, a strong, fantastic, vibrant community. And as a fellow proud regional Victorian, someone who grew up in regional Victoria, and to also be very proud to be raising my family in regional Victoria, and also to have represented regional Victoria in the Victorian Parliament for nearly 24 years, I've come to learn a lot about what's important to regional communities, whether it's through my time as a Member of Parliament representing that other great regional centre of Bendigo that includes also the country towns around it, coupled with the various ministerial roles I've held over that time. I firmly believe that there are four fundamental pillars that strong regional communities and strong regional economies are built on. Firstly, good public services families rely on in education, in health, in public transport, quality TAFE and higher education institutions, diverse jobs and businesses, a strong and diverse economy, and also a rich and diverse cultural and sporting calendar. And it's these pillars that have guided the investment of successive Labor governments in regional Victoria over the past 2 decades. We've worked hard with regional communities. And when I say we, I don't mean just we, the investments that government has made. I refer to the resilient, dedicated regional communities we've worked with in partnership across the state. And that work is transformational, not transactional. It's built on listening to regional communities so that together we can deliver the infrastructure and the services that they need most. For example, we've been able to improve road and rail infrastructure, deliver state-of-the-art TAFEs, modern schools, vibrant community spaces, including the one here at Wodonga in the Cube, and essential healthcare facilities. And it's through ongoing investments that build on what's come before it that we see that transformative change happening. For example, we can make TAFE courses free because we've rebuilt the TAFE system in the regions. We can deliver equal public transport fares for regional passengers to those in Melbourne because we've invested in the regional network, reopened train lines and delivered new rolling stock and more services. We can invest in increasing the capacity of regional hospitals because we've made it easier than ever for people who want to choose, for example, nursing as a profession. There's no doubt too, though, that there remain some real challenges facing regional Victoria, and I will touch on some of those today. However, like many regional Victorians, and it was interesting to hear the Mayor refer to this as well, I do sometimes become a little bit frustrated amongst all the presentation of those challenges. We lose sight of the strengths of our regional communities, the strengths that make it a great place to live, to work and to raise a family. Our regional communities are young, diverse and strong. We love them for our fantastic regional art galleries, food and wine, festivals and events, as much as we do the wide open spaces and the connection to the unique natural environment. Our primary producers are global leaders in agriculture. At last count, our agricultural industry was worth $17.5 billion and supported 147,000 Victorian jobs across both primary production but also in food manufacturing. And a big standout in that agricultural sector is our dairy industry, which alone supports 13,000 jobs and accounts for almost 2/3 of Australia's overall milk production. And then, of course, across the sectors, we are home to some of Australia's finest wool, wheat and wine. Regional Victoria is also home to a network of fantastic regional TAFEs and universities. And these are both centres of research and innovation, and they are also critically important pathways for regional kids, not just to stay and learn closer to home, but also to develop their ongoing skills that those regional businesses and regional communities need. Plus, we are welcoming and inclusive. There's around 4,000 refugees settle in Victoria each year, many in our regional centres. And across our state, migrant communities are a critical pillar of many of our country communities. And over our time in government, over the past 9 years, the Andrews Labor government has invested an average of $4.6 billion in each and every budget for regional Victoria. And sustained investment and in jobs growth has pushed regional Victoria's unemployment rate to a new record low, bolstering local communities and providing important confidence across the state. Look at the latest ABS stats, which show that Victoria's regional unemployment rate has fallen to 2.8%, the lowest ever in the state and significantly lower than the national jobless rate. And this strong economy has also enabled the creation of 1,100 or 1,100 new jobs in the last month, taking the total number of people in regional Victoria in work to a record high of 856,000 people. But as I did say earlier, there are some challenges, and they do remain challenges for regional communities, and the Andrews Labor government is determined to work with those communities to address them. Let me start with that issue of supply of accessible and affordable housing. We know there is no more important issue right now across the state, whether it's in the city or in the country, about having access to an affordable, available home. And often this debate is framed around the big cities, but it is also a critical issue for regional centres and country towns. And it's whether you're a first home buyer, a renter, or indeed an employer trying to attract the skilled workers you need to support your country business. Housing supply is both an economic constraint and a community constraint for regional communities. Now, already through our $5.3 billion big housing build, we've made big investments in the area of social and affordable housing. And of that $5.3 billion, 25% of the program is dedicated specifically to regional Victoria. What that means, for example, here in Wodonga, it's providing $30 million for the Wodonga community, where we've already invested in building 57 modern energy-efficient homes, with another 98 underway. We've also very clearly signalled as a government that we're working on a comprehensive housing statement where everything is on the table, and more will be said about that in coming months. Ahead of this housing statement, we have also added an additional $1 billion to a regional housing fund to support more than 1,300 social and affordable homes across regional Victoria. And finally, I also wanted to talk today about the challenge presented by climate change. Regional Victorians live the impact of climate change each and every day. And in our communities, no one is more at risk from climate change than our primary producers. Everyone here today knows what a vibrant and thriving sector agriculture is, and how hard the sector works to overcome the many challenges that are thrown at it by the natural environment, be it fire, floods, storms. We see the natural innovation and know-how of farmers every single day. It's central to the historic success and future growth of the industry. And we need to bring this determination and innovation to drive towards a sustainable energy future. Now, it's also well known that the Victorian Government has set a target to reach 95% renewable energy generation by 2035 and a net zero emission target by 2045. Setting this target is driving investment in renewable energy jobs. A great many of those jobs are found in regional Victoria. And achieving this target is absolutely vital to supporting future economic activity in regional communities through a stable energy supply. Now, we know too the challenge of climate change brings with it challenging conversations, and I know some of those conversations will be front and centre of today's conversations. That's why our government is also supporting the industries in a range of different ways to adapt to new technology and boost the development of a globally competitive ag-tech industry in Victoria. That's why today we've announced an additional $3 million for Victorian ag-tech support, ensuring emerging startups have access to financial support to progress their transformative projects. Further funding has been allocated to the AgTech Grants program, providing early-stage agricultural businesses across the state with $50,000 in grants to grow their businesses, whether it's through new employment positions, product development or on-farm trial costs. And also, if I can share with you an example how we've already seen businesses benefit from this sort of program, where Mobile has an AgTech startup company down the road here in the northeast at Avenel, has produced a new product, Mobile Connect, a cloud-based livestock farm management software which shares farm data with stakeholders to make farmers' lives easier and more productive. So what does the future for regional Victoria look like? It starts with our connected communities, continuing to invest in those fundamentals that I talked at the outset: roads, public transport, community infrastructure and quality and affordable housing, as we also grab the opportunities that come with a changing world. We've invested in things that make regional Victoria a great place, a place where people love to live, and we are all here today because we are committed to that ongoing success and prosperity of regional Victoria. So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity today to share with you the government's agenda for regional Victoria, and most importantly, continuing to have that conversations and addressing the challenges about how we continue to make regional Victoria a great place to live, work, invest and raise a family. Thank you.